In this example, we're going to be looking at adding GD&T to a part. You notice in this example, I've had a lot of GD&T already added to the design that's there. What we're going to do is look at starting this over again on a new design. Now the first thing we'll do is go to the Detail tab where we have our GD&T. Now there's two options to add this, semantic and non-semantic. Non-semantic will be you typing in whatever values you'd like. We're going to be focused on semantic GD&T. But before we do that, the first thing we need to do is add datums to our part. By clicking on the datum tool, you can click the face you'd like to use the datum on, and then place it somewhere on the model itself. I'll place the datum here on the center of the part and leave it here. To add another datum, simply click another face, and we can add that to the part or the design or the model that's there. So we're basically attaching these datums to different faces on the design really quickly. Again, selecting the face and snapping it to a particular section or area of the design. So I have three basic datums set up. The first thing I'll do now is add a GD&T to the model. If I add a semantic GD&T, we get our menu on the left side of the design. It lets us choose different symbols to use, whether they're callouts or a directed leader. If I choose something like a position tolerance, the first thing I'll do is select what I'd like to put that data or what I'd like to put that dimensioning tolerance on. Let's say I pick that hole. Now you'll notice I have this section of our tool guides called out: primary datum, secondary datum, and tertiary datum. What it's looking for now is for me to select different datums of my choosing. Once I pick the first datum, it doesn't let me select datum B again because it's already been chosen, only A or C. When I choose the second datum, now it's looking for either a third datum or it's looking for me to finish that. And once I complete this, now it's looking to see where I'd like to place this on the part or the model. And simply by selecting it, lets me choose it and put that on the design. After that's been added to the model, you can now modify this further. You can choose different options, different tolerances to put on this for those modifications. So now that we've looked at modifying some of our datums that are there, let's add another one. Let's add a perpendicular callout. Let's say I add this and I select on one of our faces here. Let's say I select this face. Now it's looking for another datum that's there. You'll notice I can choose datum A, I can't choose datum B, or I can choose datum C. If you pick something that requires a rule to be followed, like perpendicularity or parallelism, you can only choose datums which will fulfill that. That's why I can't choose datum B, only C or A. I'll choose C and hit the check mark. And now what I can do is now I can take that and place that on the face. Also, if I did choose to make a perpendicular datum, I could choose B, and I can choose C as my datum that I'm using. And so now that datum B, I've actually added a perpendicular callout to it. So there's a lot of ways you can start to modify different datums, different things that are there, simply by selecting directly on them. And also you notice you can choose kind of where you'd like to lock this and anchor it to if it picks the wrong side, simply by dragging that dot to a new location. So next, let's look at one more thing with adding datums to our part. So we've looked at datums, we've looked at different callouts that are there on the part. If you choose something like flatness, and I click on a face, some callouts don't need datums to choose from. So something like flatness can be selected on, and if datums aren't needed, it will automatically place that on the model. And you can simply click to add different callouts to the datums, or different types of material conditions as well. And this same setup can be done on a 2D sheet as well. If you had this and we're going to create it on a drawing sheet, So I'm going to make a new drawing sheet for our design. This same type of GD&T can be added. Again, you would choose where these datum symbols would go, simply picking the faces that are there. And once you've chosen them, you would add the GD&T the same way. Depending on what you want to call out, you would select on that face that's there, select a parallel datum to choose from. Notice I can't choose E, or can't choose F, I can only choose E, and I would add that to the face. So I hope you've seen different ways to add datums to the model, and also add semantic GD&T as well. Thank you for watching.